everybody, it's Holly here today, and I'm going to be showing you how to use the mini pillow box die. And this is a great die that comes with the die for the box. It comes with an oval and a scallop oval, a scripty word treats, and this little frame that you can use to add decorative pieces to the side of the box, or you can use it to trim out a window from the box if you wanted to use it with a piece of acetate to create like a window box. So I'm going to start with a piece of the Happy Spring 6x6 paper, and I'm going to cut two of these little windows or these little frames here. And I'm just running that through my Big Shot each time to cut those out. And then I'm going to go ahead and use a piece of plum colored cardstock. I'm just coordinating my paper with the little jelly beans. You can die cut this pillow box from your pattern papers. I just like to use a piece of cardstock because it's a little heavier weight. So it gives a little bit more strength to the box, but it works just fine with a piece of pattern paper as well. So I'm just going to use my bone folder, and I'm going to go ahead and score on all the score lines. I just want to make sure I get a nice crease on everything. And then while the box is unassembled, I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of my little decorative panels here, and I'm just going to add those down, one on each side. You can use any type of adhesive for this. When you do assemble the box, though, I like to use sturdy adhesive, like score tape. I'm using some score tape here, or you can use sticky strip. You want something that's really going to keep your little box together. Then I'm going to go ahead and rub it again to make sure, rub it with my bone folder to make sure everything is nice and tight once I have the tape in there. And then the insides just fold in on each other to create your little opening. And then I'm going to die cut the oval from a piece of white cardstock where I'm going to stamp the sentiment. And I'm using the Sweet Treat set because it has jelly beans in it. I'm going to coordinate with my little paper there. And I'm going to use the Purple Passion ink to stamp my sentiment. And I'm just stamping the sentiment down in the center of the little white oval. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp a few of the jelly beans onto a piece of watercolor paper. And I'm going to use some VersaFine black ink for that because I'm going to go ahead and watercolor in the little jelly beans. And then once I have the jelly beans stamped down onto the watercolor paper, and I'm using the VersaFine ink because it's waterproof and the watercolor paper has a texture, so you want to make sure you use a good ink that will grab onto the texture. The ink is pigmented, so it kind of settles into the little nooks and crannies, you could say, of the watercolor paper. So I'm going to use my distress markers. I'm going to go ahead and color those in, and I'm just adding a strip of the color around the outside edge of the image, and then I'm using a water brush that's just slightly damp to kind of pull the color into the other part of the jelly bean. Just giving like a nice little white wash. And I'm just using colors that coordinate with the jelly beans that are on the pattern paper. Then I'm going to go ahead and heat set with my heat tool just to make sure everything's nice and dry. And then once I have them all nice and dry, I'm going to go ahead and use a white gel pen to add a little bit of highlight to each jelly bean. This is why you want to make sure that your images are nice and dry, because with the distress ink it will react with any type of wet solution you put on it, so the gel ink is wet, therefore it'll bleed a little bit through the white, and your white won't be nice and crisp. So then I'm going to go ahead and use the coordinating dies, and I'm just going to add some low tack adhesive to them and run them through the Big Shot, and then just pop them out. And then I'm going to go ahead and use another piece of that same Happy Spring pattern paper, and I'm going to die cut the scallop oval to use as the backer for my sentiment oval there. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use the one with the stripes that coordinates with the little jelly beans. Same thing, I'm just going to go ahead and run that through my Big Shot. And then I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of my sentiment that just says Sweet Treats, and I'm going to add that oval into the scallop oval there. And then I'm going to adhere the little jelly beans using some Ranger Multimedia Matte to the front of the little oval area there. And this little box would be perfect for some of those little Jelly Bellies or any type of little treat you'd want to give to somebody. And then once I get the jelly beans where I want them, I'm going to go ahead and adhere the sentiment to the front of the box using some foam adhesive. When this box is all done and it's assembled, the measurements are 2 3/4 wide by 1 3/4 high. So it's a little bit too small for a gift card, but it is perfect for like little treats. These would be perfect for a kid's closet with little mini erasers in it. I've used them before to put little Lego keychains in it, so it works really well for all kinds of party favors. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you again next time. Have a great rest of the week. Thanks. Bye-bye.